Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you've been watching my last few videos, then you know that I just came home from an international trip to Europe. It was a family trip, and I haven't been on a big family trip in a while, in years. And there's something about family trips that always makes me uneasy, and I would even say sentimental, like bizarrely sentimental. And it finally dawned on me this past trip why I feel that way. And it's because you're surrounded by other families and other couples for the most part. As a gay person, these situations are a reminder of the world that we come from, but that we don't actually belong to, at least not in the traditional sense. And I realized this past trip that that's something that I carry from childhood, from trips growing up as a kid, always having this awareness, this observation of, oh, it's always a man holding a woman's hand. You don't see two men together, you don't see two women together. It's really only in the last 5 years or so that I've started to notice gay couples when I'm traveling. Like, I see gay couples holding hands, walking down the street, both in the US and internationally, but more so domestically, that it's becoming a new normal, which is great to see. But this past trip, those that sort of I don't know what the word is. It's like a subtle sort of, I guess sentimental was the right word. It's a subtle sort of chagrin that I feel that I guess is something that I've just carried throughout childhood. Anytime there's this blatant observation of, oh, this feels so inaccessible to me as a gay person. And I suppose at this age, I'm now so used to traveling alone that I don't really have to think about it. When you're on a family trip, you do family things, right? You do the guided tours. You do activities that are meant for many groups at once. Whereas when I travel alone, I'm in my own universe. Like, I do whatever I want. I'm very much independent and walk around anywhere I want. But when you're with family, you end up doing these things that naturally attract other families, and you're reminded that we really do live in a totally heteronormative world, which is fine, and frankly should be the case, because that's what the world needs to that's what the human population, that's what any species needs to keep replenishing. But as a gay person, it's always created this sense of isolation, I guess, and discomfort, that like you don't really fit in. So thinking about all this with my recent trip, I was stunned that I still have this discomfort or like anxiety around all of this. And I'm curious, for gay men watching this, if you feel the same, or is this just me being highly sensitive, and that it's a reminder of a feeling, a sentiment from childhood, traveling as a kid with family. But I wanted to share that, and I was curious if I'm the only one who feels this way. And then it made me think about all these other things, like subconsciously, is that why I travel alone, so that I don't have to face this as much? Is that why when I travel alone, I don't want to do, like group tours and stuff like that? I don't know. It's probably a mix of, personality and wanting things to be a certain way. But it's just funny how we all kind of live in our own bubbles, and then sometimes you're forced to be in another bubble, and you realize what sort of parameters you've created for your own life that don't actually necessarily fit like the mainstream parameters of people's lives. I work remotely from home. I'm not religious, so I never go to like church or anything. I have a very, very independent, solitary life. So when I have these rare sort of moments of having to be a part of a larger community, in this case, like a family dynamic, I'm kind of reminded, I guess, of there's a whole other world out there that I really don't belong in. And that's frankly the more mainstream world versus my own world. Let me know in the comments what you think, and catch you next time.